Hey, good evening folks. This is Brent Eason with Eason Farms. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to myself. Kind of have a leave of absence here the last few weeks. Been super busy and snowed under, so not literally on snow. We've been hot. But yeah, everybody's doing good. Thought it was time to kind of give everybody an update. Beautiful scenery up here this evening on this hilltop, and thought it'd be a cool thing to share a little bit of update on how the forages are progressing here late into summer. And also our sheep numbers have grown. I was able to pick up another 32 head of sheep. These are all registered St. Croix. Well, not all of these, but I've got them mixed in with my old flock. So I kept them separated for about a week, and finally this morning just kind of integrated everybody into one big flock. So that's been going really well. So far they've respected this single strand of hot wire, and our forage here has just gone absolutely nuts. This forage up here on this hill has had a lot of rest this summer, and we've had quite a bit of rain, and the native warm season grasses have come in. It's just beautiful. This old hilltop here was all locust and cedars, few hedge when I cleaned it off, and the grass density has been sorely lacking up here ever since I've been operating here. But it's coming back. The animal impact and clipping it a time or two a year. You can see everything's really pretty. Of course, we've still got our problem species. We've still got Sericea lespedeza and this old sage grass, that old junk. There's quite a bit of that up here this year. There was last year too. I'll let the sheep graze through here and then bring the cattle over here and let them graze, and then I'll probably clip everything that's left. And we're approaching the middle of September, so we've still got some time to stockpile some grass on here. I know it's getting late, but we've got ample moisture and everything's just really wanting to grow fast up here. So we've got abundant red top, and we've got some switchgrass coming in from somewhere. Guess it was here all along. But yeah, the forage is just amazing up here this year. It's gotten thick enough it's hard to move the fence. Even got a random sprig of milo or brown midrib sorghum, and I think that was probably mixed in the clover mix that I spread on here back during the spring. I have put clover on here, but I haven't put any grass on it, grass seed. You can see the results of my clover seeding scattered around through here. And what that clover does is it supplies some nitrogen for the grasses. The animals come through and graze the top out of everything, and as they munch on that clover along with the grasses, it releases nitrogen from the roots, from the nodules on the roots, and then everything gets an explosion from the kind of a reaction to the grazing. That's a little stalk of corn. I had a bunch of seed that I just mixed together and flung on here, broadcast on with that clover. A bunch of old seed that we had used in food plots, and we usually buy too much, and then we use it in little areas around here and there. That was, shoot, a lot of that seed was 3 and 4 years old. I was just trying to get rid of it, but that's okay. It's a good place for it. You know, we've got a lot of sage grass over in spots, but this is something that's really cool. I think this is, I'm not sure if this is big blue stem. I think it's little blue stem. But it's just thick up here this year, and I've never seen it up here. Obviously it was here last year. It wouldn't have just showed up and headed out already this year, but pretty cool. And there's a lot of it. That's a great big patch of it there, that reddish tawny color. So yeah, now we've got 67 ewes. We've had a couple of accidental babies too. I guess those 4 ewes that dropped lambs back in February, they had to have bred back within a couple of weeks. And I've had sheep for a couple of years now, 3, and never had them breed back that quick. I don't know if it's a testament to the quality forage or what, but we usually put them in December, the rams in December to breed, and just leave them in all winter. Well, those dropped lambs in February, and I left the rams in there. We usually take them out in July 1st, and I did that same thing this year. And I knew there was a possibility they'd get bred in June or July, but I didn't think they'd breed back as quick as they did with lambs on them. But you never know. So, but that's all right. It was a happy accident. They dropped the lambs in really nice pre-fall weather, and nice healthy lambs. Had 2 ewes that each dropped 1 single. One was a ram and one was a ewe. This is some of the new sheep. The new sheep are all registered stock, St. Croix, and they've all got tags. I think that one girl there lost a tag. I've got to get a tag and replace. These sheep came from southern Missouri, which isn't too far from us, down around Springfield. And I had a lot of trouble rounding up any number of St. Croix registered stock. Several people that had them down there declined to sell any this year, and then they had a drought down there and everybody was running out of forage, so a couple of them that I'd asked earlier decided they needed to destock because they were out of food. So there's both of the new little lambs. The bigger one's the ram and the smaller one's a ewe. They were born about a week apart. That little ewe is just the prettiest thing. Pretty lambs, aren't they? See, Boone and Crockett's doing well. This one's Crockett. They've grown. Boone and Crockett. Yeah, they've had a great big growth spurt here the last, probably 2 weeks ago. They had a big growth spurt. They're about as big as the other dogs now. You know, my main group of rams from my flock, my old flock, the 3 that I saved back in the ram lambs from this year are down there in the hardwired pen. But of course, if I'm going to handle registered stock, I can't breed those to these registered ewes and register the lambs, so I had to have 2 registered, well, I mean, I had to have 1 registered ram, and I bought 2, one younger one as a backup. This one's 18 months old, and this one was born in May. So both of these are registered, like I said. So breeding season comes around, I'll have to split the commercial flock up that came from Greg Judy, and I'll have to sort the tagged registered ewes out, and I'll have to run 2 separate flocks for a while through breeding season. Then I'll have to pull, I'm just going to start pulling the rams out completely and keeping them separated as soon as they've had time to cover everybody, because it's a pain and kind of chaotic to have sheep just dropping lambs randomly throughout the season. Those are the only 2 that we've had since May, which is good, but I don't know for sure how many more we're going to have or liable to have. So I think the best policy is just to really shorten up that breeding window with the rams mixed in. It's more work on me to have to move everybody around rotationally, but that's okay. This farm's big enough to keep them on different sides of the farm away from everybody else, or we've got other properties that I could take them to. Just get them away from here completely. Really pretty evening, September evening. It got hot today, but it's cooled off, and the evenings have been pretty cool and nice. See the cows over there, they're all doing really, really good. They're all fat, beautiful. I'll have to do an update video on those here one of these days. I've been building ponds and tied up with that, so I just finished about a 3.5 to 4 acre pond. We wanted at least one of the ponds that I built to be one great big fish pond. But it's out in the middle of that native warm season grass that was in CRP up until last year. There's 100 acres over there that didn't have any water, so I hadn't been able to use very much of it. A little bit of it I can service off of one of the existing ponds here, but I can't get cattle too far out there away from the water, so I built that great big pond right out in the middle of it. So it's all plumbed and has a nice frost-free concrete stock water tank in the back, and then I plumbed it with an extra outlet. It's got a drain for the tank, and then it's got an extra outlet so that I can run a couple of legs of a water line clear across the field over to the south side. Tried building a pond over there and hit rock, so that wasn't going to work. I still need water over there because it's like nearly a 1/4 mile across there, so a little uncomfortable for everybody to go across to drink. But anyway, well, I'm going to leave off here, get out of here. I still got to finish moving fence, so I'll catch everybody in the next video. Hope everybody's doing well. You guys have a good evening. See you later. Bye-bye.